And a drink, all for $4.50. We don't like to brag, but it's hard to stay humble when we've got one of the best deals in the game. We think this $4.50 deal deserves our bragging rights, but we won't let that go to our heads. The brand new $4.50 Pick 2 meal deal, only at Checkers. Get Checkers delivered.
Right now at 11:07's On Your Side in the search for safety after a deadly hit and run.
The idea that would take pedestrians over the traffic and keep them out of danger.
It was a lot of uncertainty, and it happened very fast.
As coronavirus spreads, one of the last flights from Beijing to D.C. touches down tonight.
Stories from those fleeing the center of the outbreak in China.
We still have our eyes on our next weather maker, which is Saturday, and how it may impact you.
And new tonight, Vanessa Bryant breaking her silence, thanking Kobe's fans and reaching out to support the families of the other crash victims. Right now at 11:07 is On Your Side with a health alert. 1,700 new coronavirus illnesses and almost 40 more deaths in China since last night. Overall, almost 8,000 sick, 170 dead. Tonight, the University of Maryland is suspending its study abroad program there, and American University is working to bring home its 9 students in China. That's becoming increasingly difficult, though, as airlines are cutting the number of flights to China, and Wuhan is on a practical lockdown.
Well, at Dulles, United is going to begin canceling flights to and from Beijing starting February 2nd. But one of the final permitted flights touching down just a few hours ago, our Heather Graff spoke with some local college students that were on that plane coming home tonight to some very concerned parents, as you can imagine.
United's direct flight from Beijing will only be on the arrivals board here at Dulles for a couple more days as the airline is temporarily suspending those flights starting next week. And tonight we met some of the families who booked last-minute tickets to get their loved ones out of China. Wednesday night at Dulles Airport, and for Peter and Stephanie Schisler, an anxious wait.
We're here to get her out of there.
Their daughter's flight from Beijing due to arrive at 6:23 p.m. after her study abroad trip through Emory University was cut short amid growing concern about the new coronavirus outbreak that began in China.
It's hard, it's scary. You want to keep them safe. That's really, I think, your primary goal as a parent.
And with United Airlines set to temporarily suspend direct flights from Beijing to Dulles starting next week, these worried parents felt they had to act quickly.
We figured that there's no way that this doesn't escalate further with further travel restrictions.
So they counted down the minutes until 7 p.m. when the first few people from Flight 808 made their way through customs. Among them, American University student Jennifer Fay.
American University, as the situation escalated, asked us to evacuate as soon as possible. Feels good to be home, but very sad that we couldn't stay and do what we had planned to do for the semester.
And not long after that came the reunion the Schislers were waiting for as they wrapped their arms around 21-year-old Jenna, who was still wearing a mask like most of her fellow passengers.
I wasn't very concerned about getting the virus itself. I was really worried about getting stuck in Beijing.
Not exactly the study abroad experience Jenna had hoped for, but right now, she's just glad to be home.
I'm definitely relieved. It's definitely nice to see my parents.
And the 2 students we spoke with tonight had spent the last 3 weeks in Beijing, and both told us they were struck by how quickly things escalated with the coronavirus. Reporting at Dulles International Airport, Heather Graff, ABC 7 News.
Now, this coronavirus, it spreads like a cold, so remember to wash your hands and avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth if you haven't washed up. Now, as for treating it, you and your doctor will want to address the symptoms, including fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Symptoms appear 2 to 14 days after exposure, and don't hesitate to call your doctor if you're concerned. This just in tonight, Vanessa Bryant, Kobe's wife and Gigi's mother, opening up her Instagram page to the public and releasing a heartfelt statement to her husband, daughter, and the 7 other helicopter crash victims, while announcing a fund to help raise money for those families. She is thankful for the prayers and says, quote, "We are completely devastated by the sudden loss of my adoring husband, Kobe, the amazing father of our children, and my beautiful, sweet Gianna, a loving, thoughtful, and wonderful daughter, and amazing sister."